Good morning, everyone. I believe that if all the ads, all the magazines, all the articles that we read about protein all the time, if everything we read about protein really worked, then by now we should be having lean bodies, we should be having muscular bodies, and we should be at the right weight. But unfortunately, protein has been a subject that's been discussed over the last 10 years. It's become an industry. It's become a billion-dollar industry. And there are so many myths around protein. It's not only preventing us from reaching our health goal, but it's also causing more disease and more problems. And today, my time with you, I want to take out this time to discuss really what is the whole deal about protein? How much do we need? Do we really need that much? Do we really need protein shakes? How does protein work in the human body? Do you need to become non-vegetarian and start eating animal meat and eggs if you want to get more protein? I'm not over here to tell you to become vegetarian. I'm not here to say that you need to give up your non-veg, but I'm over here to tell you today exactly how protein works. The human body uses the food you eat, and it breaks down the protein in your food into amino acids, which then generates the right amount of protein that works for your muscles and for your cells. You don't eat protein and it just doesn't go into your muscles. The common misconception is I take a scoop of whey protein or I eat a high protein meal and that protein goes directly into my muscles. It doesn't work that way. Your body first breaks down protein into amino acids, and it's the amino acids that contribute towards proper lean mass, that gives muscle fuel and gives power to your cells. There are 23 amino acids. 15 of them your body can make every single day. The balance 8 amino acids, also called essential amino acids, must come from other sources and other foods that we eat. So 15 of the amino acids are generated by the human body. The other 8 amino acids to make complete protein, complete quality protein that your muscles really need, comes from foods like beans, green peas, cabbage, cauliflower, cucumber, carrot, kale, spinach, nuts, seeds, sprouts. Yes, all vegetarian foods contain the 8 amino acids that your body needs to make complete quality protein. Don't get me wrong, eggs also have fantastic protein. Red meat has fantastic protein along with fat and antibiotics and hormones and everything else. But you can get complete amino acid profiles from vegetarian food. And you'll find gold Olympic medalists, you'll find vegan bodybuilders, you'll find pure vegetarians who run marathons and triathlons and they have great bodies eating vegetarian protein. I'm not here to tell you to become vegan. I'm here to tell you that you can get sufficient protein even if you're a Jain, even if all your food is vegetarian and plant-based, even if you don't have dairy. Because it's not about the quantity of protein. We've been confused by media, we've been confused by people over the last few years that the more protein you have, the more grams of protein per kilo of, per pound of your body weight is what we need. But excess protein comes with its own problems because it is not quantity, it is quality. I could get 30 grams of protein in a scoop of whey protein, okay, which is not qualitative, that doesn't have a complete amino acid profile, or I could get just 7 to 8 in 2 or 3 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds that has all the amino acids and will give my body and my muscles exactly what it needs. So it is not about quantity, it is about quality. The second thing that we need to see is the human body can roughly absorb anywhere between 9 to 11 to 12 grams of protein at each sitting. So taking 30 grams of protein at one meal is too much of protein for most people. Your body cannot absorb that much of protein. And guess what happens when you have excess protein? If your body has no use for the protein, it gets stored as glucose and eventually fat. Which is why people who keep taking more and more protein, believing that their muscles will get bigger and bigger, end up having abdominal fat. Because the excess protein does not get absorbed all at one time. So we need to monitor and spread our protein intake over the day, through the day, which means if I have sufficient protein at breakfast, lunch, my evening snack and dinner, and of course my pre and post workout snack, depending on what kind of exercise I'm doing, it's enough. Having casein protein before you sleep at night is probably the worst thing that you can do. And yes, the ads make us believe it's a slow release protein and it'll fuel our muscles, but it doesn't work. And casein is a carcinogenic element that is found in dairy. It is extremely, extremely detrimental to your health. Casein is what they use from milk and dairy to make glue, to make gum that sticks floorboards and sticks wood together. And that's what we put in the human body. So when it comes down to protein, what you need to understand that building muscle or building lean mass or using protein to lose weight is more about the amino acid profile. And when it comes to muscle, believe me, you need a little bit of protein, but you need more of the human growth hormone and more of the hormone called testosterone. And that's what we never look at. We just look at how much protein we can get. But if you have low testosterone levels and low human growth hormone levels in your body, it doesn't matter how much protein you have. In fact, excess protein causes a reduction in your serum testosterone. Testosterone is what builds muscle. Testosterone is what gives you muscle mass. Testosterone is what gives you lean mass in men and in women. Women also have testosterone in their bodies and human growth hormone. Every time you generate human growth hormone, you have more muscle mass, you have more lean mass. So when you look at children out there, I have so many mothers from around the world who come to me and say, please give me a high protein plan so my child can grow taller. But they don't understand that it is not about protein that will make your child grow taller. It is the human growth hormone that will make your child taller. And what inhibits human growth hormone? A sedentary lifestyle, too much of processed food, too much of smoking, too much of alcohol, too much of sugar, playing too many video games, sitting in front of the TV, sitting in one place for too long, depletes human growth hormones. And what stimulates human growth hormones? Activity. Jumping exercises, skipping, jumping jacks, squats, anything that makes you have contact with your foot to the ground multiple times. So something as simple as skipping, jumping will generate and stimulate human growth hormones, which also stimulates immunity. And when you have high human growth hormone, you have high testosterone. If you have too much of stress, too much of junk food, if you have a thyroid issue, too much of stress, cortisol, the higher cortisol, the stress hormone, the lower testosterone levels go. You have low testosterone levels no matter how much of weight you're lifting, how much of activity you have, how much of protein you're consuming, it will not benefit you. Because weight loss, weight gain, the right weight gain, I'm talking about lean mass weight gain, the right amount of muscle is hormonal based. It is based on the amount of testosterone you have and the amount of human growth hormone. So your next question that I know you have is then how do bodybuilders do it? They consume so much of protein. They consume so much of protein, they have so much of rest, and they also consume testosterone and other anabolics, which laymen like us don't do. So they are actually pumping themselves with more testosterone levels to also balance the amount of protein that they have. It is all about testosterone. It is all about human growth hormones. Everything I talk about is about hormones. If we have the right hormonal balance, so if you're running too much, if you're training too much and you have less sleep, you have a hormonal imbalance. You have a hormonal imbalance, your protein doesn't get broken down the right way. You cannot build muscle. You cannot have a lean body if you have a hormonal imbalance. So the idea is balance your hormones by eating balanced nutrition. You have to eat the right kind of fats to generate the right hormones because fat is required. The function of fat is generating hormones in the human body. So when you get the right source of fats from the right olive oil, the right coconut oil, nuts, seeds, they have essential fatty acids, you help your body generate hormones like testosterone, human growth hormone, and all of that. So instead of shying away from the good fats and increasing more protein, we should have the right amount of good fats and the right amount of protein, not excess protein, because excess protein that your body doesn't use will get stored as fat, and you will put pressure on your kidneys to flush out the excess protein. So we need to understand that if you are consuming a protein-rich diet and you're not putting on muscle, you're not losing weight, it is also because of a vitamin deficiency. Because one of the functions of many vitamins is to convert the protein that we eat into amino acids that your body can absorb. So if we have a vitamin deficiency, we're not synthesizing protein the right way. So it's no longer about how much protein should I eat. A handful of nuts is great protein. A tablespoon of sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds is great protein. A bowl of peas, your normal vegetables, raw fruits, raw vegetables, raw seeds, your balanced diet will give anyone the right amount of protein that we need. So instead of adding more protein to our diet, we need to look at why isn't our body breaking down protein the right way and absorbing protein the right way. So get the right amount of fats in your diet. And the second thing about a point that I want to talk about is people eat every 2 hours thinking that, oh, my metabolic rate will increase. Please stop doing that. Protein takes roughly 3.5 to 4 hours to digest in your system. If you're eating every 2.5 hours, you're making your digestive system constantly work. Your digestive system uses the most amount of energy in the body. And if it's constantly using energy to break down the food that you eat, your metabolic rate is actually slower because your metabolism is a function of energy. When we talk about a high metabolic rate, it is the efficiency of the body to use energy to burn excess fat. But if your body is using that energy to break down the food that you're eating every 2.5 hours, guess what? Your stomach is producing stomach acid every 2.5 hours, which means at some point you have more acid in your system, which means you're acidic. And when you're acidic, you're destroying amino acids. When you're acidic, you cannot lose weight. When you're acidic, you cannot build muscle. So the idea is eat a balanced meal, let your body completely digest it, and then eat your next meal, and then eat your next meal. Eating every 2 hours is a myth. It will not boost your metabolism. It will make your digestive system weaker, and your body is not looking out for nutrition so frequently. Give it what it needs at its meal time, and then let it rest in between. Let it digest. Let it absorb nutrition. Let it build cell health. Let it build immunity. Let it build your muscles. That's exactly how the human body works. So stop eating every 2.5 hours. It's not a happy life if you're always thinking about your health and cooking and filling up your tiffin boxes and wondering what your next snack's going to be. Being healthy is easy. It's just become too complicated today. So when it comes to protein, use nature. Yes, if you want to use shakes, there are vegan shakes, there are green powder shakes. I mean, use it for convenience. Sometimes I'll take a vegan shake if I'm in a place where I cannot get even decent vegetables or fruits or nuts. But don't use it as the simple way out. A pre-workout snack could be a fruit and some nuts. A post-workout snack could be some fruits and some peanut butter or almond butter or some nuts. Keep it simple. If you need a shake, use a good quality shake. Use a shake that doesn't have lactose in, that doesn't have dairy protein in. So you may want to use a green pea shake or a brown rice shake or any of the countless vegan shakes that don't have aspartame, don't have added sugar, and have a complete amino acid profile their body. So even when it comes to your children, less is more, but give them quality protein. And that's exactly how the human body works. You have to understand that excess protein is not going to help you lose weight. It's going to make you put on weight, and it's going to cause other multiple issues in the human body. So be smart when it comes to protein. You can get it out of vegetables and even potato. A lot of people get potato out of their diet, and it's carbohydrates, but it's also got protein. It's got a nice profile of protein in. It's not a high profile, it's not a high protein vegetable, but like I said, it's got protein that your body can use to break down into amino acids. And yes, protein are the building blocks of cells, immunity, muscle, and everything else. And it is true, the more lean mass you have, the faster you burn body fat. And you can build that lean mass by looking after your hormonal health. Testosterone, human growth hormones. That's all you need to remember when it comes to protein. Everything else is available in nature. So until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep. Thanks everyone. Have a great day.